Mahasiswa dan mahasiswa Republik Indonesia. Ini merupakan program kedua kalinya yang UKNA ambil. Sebelumnya UKNA pernah mengambil program yang sama di Universitas Kuala Banda Aceh. UKNA juga merupakan reporter atau jurnalis di Delphi, yaitu Lithuanian News website. Kemudian yang kedua adalah Manuel. Manuel sekarang merupakan mahasiswa dan mahasiswa Republik Indonesia di UIP yang berasal dari Kolombia. Manuel merupakan pengajar bahasa Inggris, Spanyol, Portugis, dan Prancis selama lebih dari 5 tahun. Jadi yang mau belajar bahasa Spanyol bisa ke Manuel. So if you can teach Spanish to your English student, okay.
I really need tips to learn your grammar. But I don't know, like for me, it was a long time ago that I was learning English language, and I think the most important thing is to watch movies in English, listen to music. I remember myself that I was learning English, I would listen to songs in English and I would find the lyrics and would read together with the song. So talking about grammar, yeah, there are rules, but only reading, listening, watching, talking to people, only in practice you will learn, because not to make mistakes, I'm still making mistakes in English language, but to be mostly precise, the grammar in English language, you need to feel language. It's the same with all languages. For me, in Indonesian language, the same. I don't feel it yet, so I make I say something, I think it's clever, but it's sometimes very stupid, because I don't know Indonesian very well, and I didn't practice. So be very, listen what you hear about grammar in the class, but don't forget your homework, practicing after class. So always, when you watch movies, always listen, try to understand, and after some time, you'll start catching the grammar.
Sama TOEIC sebenarnya ketemu Pak Hendra ya? Oke, kemudian ada Pak Benyamin. Pak Benyamin ini bekerja di International Test Center sebagai Assistant Manager of Education Development yang kurang lebih mengenai official TOEIC. Oke. Kita akan mulai dengan pembicara yang pertama, yaitu UKNE mengenai the importance of learning English. So for UKNE, time and place. Yes.
Selamat malam teman-teman, nama saya UKNE, saya dari Lithuania. Siapa yang tahu di mana Lithuania?
Eropa.
Negara saya, negara kecil di Eropa Timur dekat Polandia. Tahu Polandia?
Tahu.
Okay. So now I will switch to English language because that's why we came here, and I want to tell you what is the importance of learning English language. I guess first of all, like for me personally, I will try to make it a bit personal story. So for me, if I didn't know English language, I wouldn't be here. So it's the same for you. If you don't know English language, you maybe will not get into some very interesting and very nice place, because for me this is Batam now. So there is a quote which says that learning another language, it's not only learning different words for the same things, but learning another way to think about things. So for example, you know what's keju, yeah? Like cheese. Everyone knows in Indonesia keju. But in Indonesia, you know just some types of keju. If you go to France, you will meet and you will try and you will eat different 100 kinds of cheese, and you will see that the meaning cheese, keju, for you becomes much different than you have it now. Next one. Why you should learn English. I try to put some points why it's important to learn from my personal experience. So first of all, knowing English language, you get more job opportunities. From my personal experience, I was already working for some time as a journalist, and at my work, not so many journalists knew English language well. So if someone important came to Lithuania, because I worked in one of the biggest news websites in Lithuania, I was always asked to take interviews from top people. So I talked with some Hollywood actors, I took interview from some presidents who visited Lithuania, just because at my work, I knew English language and my colleagues didn't know. So for you, it's also, even if you stay after studying in Batam, you will be much more better worker if you know English language well. And of course, Singapore, Malaysia, and some other countries, English language is a must. Knowing English makes you to be ambassadors of Indonesia. So this is a selfie me at the front, but at the back you see my moon that I was already talking about, and you can show foreigners also how Indonesia is amazing, because it's really amazing. If you think that, oh, there are not so many things to show, it's really for us, for foreigners, everything is so interesting, and your nature, and people, and culture, and food, everything is amazing. So if you know very good English, don't be afraid to come to a foreigner and just say, hi, did you try gong gong? Or maybe to show a place where to eat good gong gong. Next. helps you train your brain. That's why I'm also like now learning Bahasa Indonesia, and all my life I was always learning languages. I was learning Lithuanian, of course, English, Russian, Italian, Hebrew, and now Indonesian. Just because I always want my brain, I'm older than you, so I noticed if I don't study anything, my brain starts degrading. So I always think that learning language is one of the best practice for your brains to keep alive and young. Next one. The thing why I enjoy the most that I know English language is what I saw in the world. So language, English, will help you to find new cultures, find new friends, and see much more. So like in these pictures, at the bottom on the right, you can see me in Bukit Lawang. Do you know where is Bukit Lawang? Near Medan. So I was going on the track to see orangutans, and I met in my group, there were people from Brazil, from Germany, from Poland. If I didn't know English language, I couldn't talk with them. In the top picture, you see girls from school in Banda Aceh. They just came to me in the street and they interviewed me because they are learning English and they wanted to practice their English. So after we went to coffee tempat untuk minum kopi, and we talked and spent some time together. And it was really interesting for me to talk with them how they're doing in the school. And on the left, you see me also, this is in Penang, in Malacca, in Malaysia, near Kuala Lumpur. So I met also a girl from China, a local man who has hostel there, and only English language helped me to know them, to talk with them. Next. Also, English language helps you to explore how foreigners see Indonesia. I know for you, you were born here, you're living here, so maybe some things for you are not wow anymore. But for us foreigners, some things like that you sell petrol, benzene on the street in like bottle air, for us it's like, wow, that's so interesting. So if you can speak English, you can talk with us or foreigners and know that you're really living in wow, amazing country, and there are so many things. Or in Padang, we saw one place where they were selling es rabut laut, and for me it was, wow, can you make a drink from that? So you have so many amazing things that is very, very interesting. Also, your weddings. I attended in the picture on the left at the top to see a picture from Aceh's wedding. It was so interesting to see and how close look and how welcoming they are. So also English language is important not even if you want to work outside Indonesia or Indonesia in Indonesia, but to meet other people and know more even about your country. Next. Also what I noticed, the more I speak with people in the street, at university, or somewhere, just by knowing English language, I get so many new friends and new experiences. In the picture on the left, you see on the right side, Maimun. He is a guy from Banda Aceh. He was living in the same asrama as I live, and he was when we met, he didn't know English very well, but he was so keen to learn English. He was like every day we were playing volleyball or spending some time together. So every day he tried to talk with us. And after like we finished the Matitwa, he was so much better in English. And he was so interesting because he was studying to be a teacher of biology, but he was very interested in traveling. So he also showed us so many beautiful nature around Banda Aceh just because he wanted to learn English. And in the other picture, there is Moid from Malaysia. Actually, he was very lucky that, and me, we are both very lucky that we know English because we just met in Penang in one botanical garden, and he just approached me to ask what I do here, and we were like traveling after in Penang together. And he's Malaysian, he's also a journalist, but because he knows English, he already worked in France for many years, and now he's living in Australia and also working as a journalist. Training your brain. So if you learn English or another foreign language, it will be easier for you to study other subjects. Next. And another quote for the end, to learn a language is to have one more window from which to look at the world. So I really hope that, I know you already speak English, so I hope you will not forget it, because to know language well, you need to practice all the time. So I really wish you to keep practicing your English language and then open more and more windows of the world for you. Thank you. Terima kasih.
Compulsory in UIP. Pada pengendara, mungkin apa kita semua.
Yeah, bagian saya yang bisa-bisa. The difficult one is always English language certificate. So firstly, hello guys. Hi. Is this 2017, 18 or 19?
19.
Is there any 17 here?
No.
Is there any 18 here? Is there any 19 here? Yeah, still. So in these occasions, I'm going to explain about English language certification. So this is the most confusing policy in UIB till now. So I hope if you gather here 300 students, so at a time I can explain it in 5 minutes. Okay, skip. Okay, why English certification? So, based on the explanation by Ukne and Manuel, are you well motivated to learn English? Yes or no? Yeah, if you're not well motivated, we are going to force you. Yeah, in here we are going to force you by doing this, English certification. So, you need to reach a particular score of 5. Yeah. So, our objective actually for this certification to enhance graduate with communication skill. That's why we choose TOEIC instead of TOEFL or IELTS. So, we expect our students able to communicate well, verbally or in written. Next, please. Okay, how to. This is the important thing. How to. So, firstly, you need to pay attention to Portal Academy. We, UCLC, always inform students through Portal Academy. Pengumuman. If you cannot find it, you must dig it. Perhaps it is drowned by other announcement. Jadi, banyak yang beralibi, Pak. Saya nggak ikut enlistment karena saya nggak lihat pengumumannya, padahal itu ada di bawah. You must scroll down to find the information. Always, to find the information about English enlistment program or test schedule. Always see the Portal Academy. And then, always register yourself. So, we use paperless registration form for students for our activity. Just for this activity, we use Google Form. And yeah, always register yourself on time for any of UCLC program. And it is also your first English score in UID, Bahasa Inggris 1. You need to reach 700. And for Bahasa Inggris 2, you have the same thing for final exam, UTEP. So you have 2 chances to get your UTEP into 700, sampai 700. If you cannot reach that score, 700, in the third semester, you must take English enrichment program. That's an additional class for you, all of you. So that's why we
menyediakan layanan program sertifikasi dan juga pembelajaran dan juga pengembangan human resource gitu ya. Oke, next. Ya, seringkali ada pertanyaan ya, mungkin kalian sudah sangat familiar dengan TOEFL ya. Siapa yang sini baru dengar TOEIC anak-anak? Yang baru dengar tes TOEIC, Pak? Ada ya? Ada beberapa yang pernah dengar tes TOEIC. Tapi kalau TOEFL mungkin sudah sangat familiar. Ya, next. Ya, TOEFL. Ya, siapa yang nggak tahu TOEFL gitu ya? Kalau bahasa Inggris, tesnya TOEFL gitu ya. Next. Tapi kita juga ada yang namanya Test of English for International Communication itu TOEIC. Ya. Jadi, edisi ini adalah kami mewakili ITS. Ya. ITS ini adalah Individual Technical Service yang berpusat di Amerika yang membuat program sertifikasi bahasa Inggris, TOEFL. Ya. Nah, selain TOEFL, ITS ini mereka membuat tes TOEIC. Ya. Nah, dari namanya ini sudah berbeda. Ya. Test of English as Foreign Language, Test of English.
Oke, selamat malam. Nama saya Manuel, saya dari Colombia. Saya seorang guru dan mahasiswa bahasa Indonesia. Today this presentation is a little bit different. So in this stage, you're going to use your cell phones like to interact a little bit with me. Okay, so please go to this website, menti.com. Yeah, if you want to stop like photos or videos, you can menti.com, and then you're gonna write this PIN number 39171. Right, like to interact a little bit with me also, which is, you can also, if you want like to check presentation there, menti.com. Partner movement said you can get like new eyes. I said like it's like new glasses. Like every language is like a new pair of eyes that you can get to see the world. It's like a window that you can see like a different perspective. When you just speak your native language, you are like a horse, just like looking to one point. But when you learn a foreign language, your vision is like wider. It's like you can see that the world is full of opportunities, full of these scholarships. As Dharmasiswa, like in a future you can be like us, like visiting another countries to learn other languages. For example, in Colombia we have a similar program of Dharmasiswa. So for example, if you have a very good level of English, you can apply to the Colombian government and be in Colombia for 6 months to study Spanish and to know more about the culture, about the language. But like the first requirement for all the scholarships is like to learn English. Okay, well, it's Universidad La Gran Colombia. Okay, so let's begin. So the first reason, well, of course, you can easily communicate everywhere in the world. And in my personal experience, I have also had the opportunity to travel to different countries around South America, and now here I am in Asia. And when you travel, you can really perceive that you can communicate in English, no matter the country where you are. I have been in Brazil, in Japan, in Mexico and many other countries, and I have met people from all around the world, and you can see that the common language is English. So you can speak English, you can communicate with many foreigners, no matter that you don't talk their native language. For example, if you don't speak English or Spanish or German or Japanese, you can communicate with those people just using English. Okay? Well, now this is a question for you to answer, to interact a little bit with me. Like, in which countries have you used English to communicate with other people? What countries have you visited and that you can like survive English? Okay, of course, Singapore, yes. The UK, Malaysia, well, Australia. Yes, I can survive in Indonesia with English. Sure. Morocco. Many countries. Okay, well, of course, you are neighbors of Singapore, so that's another big reason to study and practice English. Okay, Canada, South Korea, Australia, England, Japan. You see, for example, if you don't speak Japanese, if you don't speak Malaysian,
Wow.
you can communicate with those people using English. Okay, next. Okay, this one is like really nice for me that you can make friends of different parts of the world. I can say that I can have like one friend in many countries. Like I have a house, no matter the country where I travel, I have a friend in that country because as a teacher of different languages, so I could meet like different people, different foreigners of all around the world. So if you use English, you can really easy like to make friends, like to be in contact with your friends like online, or well, you can know many things about different countries just practicing your English skills. Well, this one, do you have friends of other countries who speak English, like online, or that you have visited some friends? So the options are yes, no, or forever alone. Hey, forever alone. Oh my God. That's why you need to speak English to avoid the forever alone. Okay, well, but 60 of you say yes, so it's cool, yes. Like, you can have like really strong friendship, and you can know many interesting things about different countries, because English is not just United States, United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia, or Singapore. You can, with English, I can say like more than half of all the content that is on social media, like all the information that is on internet, like more, around half of that information is in English. So if you don't understand, or if you don't can read or listen in English, so you're avoiding like a lot of things on internet, like many books, series, e-books, series, yes. For example, like the best way that I can see like to practice a language to really improve your listening skills is, well, with series, and well, you know that now Netflix is like trending, and you just can put subtitles in English, and then you can understand and learn a lot of vocabulary. So now I want to, this is also really important, like learning a language to expand your minds and your brain capacity. It is like scientists have discovered like when you try to speak a language, like almost like 60 or 70% of your brain is activated at that time. That's why when you travel to other country or you speak English for a long time, at the end you are like with headache, because your brain like needs to make a big effort to understand and to process and to speak in English. But that's like a very good exercise for your brain, for your mental capacity. And people that can speak different languages, they can be like smarter in different things, in coordination and mathematics, and they can process like information easily, and the memory is also improving. So if you already speak English, so it's the time to begin to speak or to learn another language. Okay. Well, the next one. Well, if we compare English with other foreign languages as Spanish, French, Japanese, Mandarin, we can say that English is like the grammar, the pronunciation, like compared to other languages would be easier, yes? The writing, the pronunciation. Of course, learning a foreign language is always a challenge. It's always something that you need a lot of practice, discipline, be constant. But if you decide like to study other language, you can perceive how easy English could be. For example, at the beginning when I began to study English, I was, oh my God, this is so hard, it's so difficult for me. But then, after I learned English, I began to learn French. And when I began to have classes, like French classes, in that moment I could perceive like, oh my God, like English is so easy compared to French or compared to Spanish or German or well, any other languages. So like in the languages that you have around the world, like English is like the best option if you want like like crazy grammar like other languages can have. Okay, number 7, you can have much more academic and professional experiences. As I was talking before, if your English level is high, you can get access to thousands of scholarships, of opportunities all around the world in different countries. And as Lumen said, we are here thanks to our English level. It's not the best, but we have studied English a lot, so that's why we can have access to this kind of opportunities in different countries. And I can say that most of the countries of the embassies, they have this kind of programs, or after you finish your studies, you can begin your master's degree or a specialization of courses or seminars in different parts of the world. But of course, the first requirement is to speak English. Yes? And also that's one of the reasons to present this project, because you can speak English, but if you don't have a certification, if you don't have an international certification, that's not valid. Your English level could be perfect, could be the best, but if you don't present this kind of exams, so it's going to be difficult for your work